Hello, everybody. Welcome. Let us know when you are here. I know it takes a few minutes for you to join us, but my name is Libby Lee, and we're here with Leah, and we're just here to kind of chew the fat and dive deep into some amazing questions and really start to talk a lot more about the invisible to answer any of your burning questions if you have some. How are you today, Leah? Going well?
Oh, I'm great. I am absolutely fantastic. Last week when we spoke, it was still March, and I was a bit sick, so I didn't really think about talking too much about the new energies. But I just wanted to briefly, hello. I just
Hello.
briefly wanted to give a little bit of an insight about the energies that are happening this month. So
Yeah.
last month was a numerological month of 9, which was all about letting go of things. There was astrologically a lot of swapping over in between different energies of the Piscean stellarium and the Aquarian stellarium. So we were kind of forced a lot going, looking into the future and looking back. So there was a lot of push and pull last month,
Mm.
and also a lot of letting go of old beliefs. It was a very mental month. This month we're in a 1 month, and the 1 month, I don't know if you guys can feel it, but the one is all about intention, inspiration, about something fresh, something new, having that idea. um I just feel like it's your brain, and there's just ideas being blown through with the wind, and some of them will, you look at them, it's like, oh yeah, this is nice, and then they just blow out, and others like, this is amazing, this feels so right. And any ideas you have this month, jot them down, and then
Hmm.
keep them, because sometimes we have these great ideas, and then we're like, I can solve world peace, and then the next day you forget it.
Yeah, I I love to describe that as sometimes not everything needs to take action, and the one energy you don't have to take action on it. It's about letting them land without limits. Like really brainstorm and really let your imagination run wild and you can lean into the limitless possibilities. And then I kind of call it the marinating pot. You can just place things in there. Maybe they don't quite resonate right now, maybe they're for later on, and you can just sit them in your marinating pot, because later on they really might align and it's time to take action and it's go. um, but yeah, this is a fun time and a fun energy because it's really fresh, and you can really truly feel the inspiration landing. And that's actually the conversation we were having before we went live, right? Like, what is the main, um, maybe you can speak to this. What is I don't want to say like what is our purpose, but in terms of how we experience life, in terms of how we spend every day, what is the main thing we can be doing for our fulfillment, for our happiness?
Just go with the flow, go where the inspiration leads you. And I actually saw this thing yesterday. I don't know if you guys know Teal Swan, but she's also an amazing spiritual coach, I'd say. And she said, how about you go on a intuitional walk, I think she called it, where you just walk outside and you don't have a plan where you're going, and every so often you're just like, which way shall I go? And you just look for a sign and you just go that way, and then see where it takes you. And that
Mm.
is kind of a really good met- metaphor of
Mm.
how you can lead your life, not just actually physically doing it, but just when you are not sure, just look for signs. There's always signs, and especially at the moment, because we are in a 4, so we are in a numerological month of 1, but the April is the 4 month. So 4 is the angelic number of angelic connection. So
Mm.
we can actually very physically, or not very physically, but we are invited to connect more to the spiritual realm. and listen a little bit more and open up our channels to receive information. So when we are at a point in our lives and we're just like, I don't know what to do, am I bored or am I content or what am I supposed to do? Wait for an answer, it'll come. There's always going to be some sort of sign, some sort of nudge, trusting, listening, and sometimes, we can ask a friend for advice or talk to a psychic or, just whatever, just get a little bit of cards, pull cards. There are so many different ways how we can also get those nudges black and white. If we're not very good at listening to intuition that much, we can actually get either somebody else to help us with our decisions or have cards, because those are kind of a reflection of the frequencies that are coming through if you need something physical.
Yes. And it's building that validation, right? Like I know as I started to, in my Facebook group, I would show up on a Friday and just start to pull cards. And, I would literally pull the card, read what was on the card, and people go, oh, that resonates. And then I started to feel some things that the people were feeling. If they were feeling really dizzy, I would start to feel dizzy, and then we could dive into that. But me actually trusting enough to speak what I was experiencing, and then having them confirm that, oh yeah, I do suffer from dizziness or whatever it might be. It builds that spiritual self-esteem, our intuitive self-esteem, so that we can keep trusting it. So, it can just be in little ways. Like if you have a burning question and you want to reach out to somebody for support, you can sit, pull your cards and kind of tune into it for yourself, and then reach out and say, hey, this is what I'm thinking. You and I do this a bit, Leah. This is what's happening. This is what I'm feeling. And then you get that validation, and you're building your confidence and your intuitive self-esteem by having that feedback, right? And it's all about those soul whispers, that real, like it's always whispering to you, and they are so subtle that they are so easy to ignore. A little example was I just went and had my colors and my body shape done for if I want to buy new clothes, just finished traveling, I need new clothes. And as she was layering all these different colors draping them over my shoulders, as soon as the turquoise tealy blue came over my shoulder, I felt it, didn't say anything. And then, next color. And, in the end, I was just like, I think, the spring colors, they really resonated a lot more with me. And she was like, yeah, so what I imagine is this and this. And she put that teal color back on. And I was like, thank you for that confirmation of that's what I was feeling. It was so subtle, but we could have moved on right at that point, because I'm like, that's the color. These is my group of colors, So just a little example of that. Just it takes time to just play and build your confidence with those little whispers that do land, because they do land. They really do.
Yeah, and we have been trained or conditioned not to listen to our intuition, but more listen to the outside world, what people think, am I pleasing whoever, it's difficult, but it is, if you're 90, if you're 30, if you're 18, you can always start listening to your intuition.
Yeah. It's what we're here to do, really. Yeah. We are all meant to.
It feels so good when you're doing it. It's like the best thing ever, because you can't go wrong. If you're living from your heart space, you cannot go wrong.
Yes.
Sarah.
So,
Sarah.
Yes. So we are totally open to answering questions and seeing what insights you would like to know. I know that Rosalie was on. I don't know if she still is. Please let us know if you have any questions. There is a few of you here. Or if you would just like, Leah can tune in. I can pull some cards and we can just see what comes up. Let's have some fun with it.
We're just here to have fun.
Yeah.
Fun. That's what this is about. Fun and sometimes tears.
I will grab my cards. One sec.
Yes, please. So yeah, any questions, messages, we would love to tune in. Can you tune in for me? Sure. So how about Libby? I tune in to Sarah while you pull some cards, and then we'll just see if it bounces off because this is magic. All right. All right. So Sarah, what I see is water. And I don't know if you sometimes in a movie or something, you've seen like this vision of or this picture of water. There's like nothing around, it's just like this really deep water and it's all dark, but then there's this one ray of light that comes down through the water and you're like literally just like in there like mermaid kind of um in this water, and I just see like this pull of you to coming up to the surface. um it's like there is no, like, you know, sometimes water can be really daunting, like, you know, the pressure of the water on your body, or you know, the vastness of it. There's so many different aspects why water can be, I guess, perceived as scary. But then if you, water has also got this power of giving us life. The What I love about the how the atoms arrange and rearrange and all that. So every sip of water that we drink has been already been drunken by like 20 other people, you know. So it's the molecules, we don't, when we drink water, the water doesn't get destroyed, it just gets rearranged. The molecules get rearranged, and then when we die, you know, the molecules get rearranged. So there's this ever happening cycle of arranging and rearranging. And I don't like this. I know I love how this always takes me on tangents, but what I'm seeing is that, you know, you're in this pool of water and it's kind of it feels heavy around you, but you've got this beam of light that is kind of pulling you to the surface. And you know, this whole thing about the molecules is it's forever changing. It's forever changing. You don't change as a person, but um your experiences and your, oh, I don't know how to say this. It's really a busy energy at the moment, what's going on with you, Sarah. So there is a lot of this vastness and emptiness and space and silence, you know, that's around you. But then there's also this, so much happening on the inside, like so much rearranging. Your cells are rearranging. You're becoming somebody new. And I'm just going to leave it with that. I think that's me done. Release to rise. Yes. Does that, you're muted, Libby.
Sorry. Yes, Sarah. Fuck. No surprises here. Trustworthy guidance. You are always being guided, and even if the messages are not what we want to receive, or they might not be how we expect to receive them, or it's like, oh, I want more, or I want it to be different, you know, but we need to always just lean into this trust. And exactly what Leah was describing is the alchemical mutation. So 100% what she is saying is so much is shifting and changing. Yes, you've got all of this beautiful container of your existence and your experience, and there is a lot of calm and contentment and wonder and magic in that space. But what's happening is very busy. And that is the alchemical mutation, which is the shifting of the cells of the quantum of you is absolutely shifting and changing. So I think that is just huge confirmation for exactly what Leah was describing. And all you can do is sometimes when we know that, like sometimes when things like this come up and, even if it's like the Dark Night of the Soul card or something, it's like, oh, okay. It's like, it's all happening so fast, but it's all for a purpose. And we know it, but then to see the confirmation of it is really amazing. It's like when my boys were babies, there was an app called Wonder Weeks. So you could put in their due date. Yeah, you could put in their due date and it would tell you the consciousness shifts and the shifts that they were having in their experience as they were growing through the weeks. And so there were certain weeks where they really took a leap and their whole world was changing. So they'd get really fussy and they'd be out of routine. And I loved knowing that. That's kind of like receiving these messages. I loved knowing that because I had all this patience around it then, because I understood what was happening in their little world was everything was shifting and they didn't understand. So I could hold the space for that. So it is absolutely difficult to see in the times sometimes. 100%. And that is where you can lean on your community too. And, we've always got your back, which So, yeah, what a beautiful message. Amazing. So true. Yeah, tag Peter. Get on here, girl. So I think we had Rosalie present as well. She didn't have a question, but she's open to the magic and fun.
Whew. Feeling a bit, I don't know. It's like there's something going on with your throat chakra, Sarah. I don't know if that's still your energy, but yeah. All right, have another.
Yeah,
of course.
Go for it. Yeah.
We've got 40 minutes, Sarah.
We should bring Sarah on. She has great questions.
Yeah, we can. Sarah, if you want to hop on with us.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to send her a link. Oh.
Of course you can, beautiful. You care, Sarah.
Okay, Sarah, just quietly. I'm still in my pajamas. There you go.
Yeah, and I'm not wearing
it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. There you go. So we're just rolling with it. This is the fun and magic of working from home, staying in your energy, and just absolutely rolling with it.
Lena. There she is. Hello.
Oh my God, look at the state of me. Oh my gosh.
I love it.
Just quickly, this way. This is the card I pulled the other day.
Letting go. Oh my goodness. Yes, look at that.
So when you were talking about this kind of like murky water and, it just, I pulled it about a week ago, and I just decided to keep it out for a while to remind me that I'm in this continuous loop of releasing and letting go in so many ways physically. Now, can I just quickly say about my hair, right? I had a facial yesterday and she gave me a big head massage, and it's just like a bit of a mess, just saying.
You don't need to.
But it's the inner in me of being accepted, okay?
Exactly. This is a beautiful experience of belonging and not judging and and being okay with exactly how we
how
are.
you are present. And this is strange. Like I feel, obviously, if I didn't feel that, I would come on, right? If I really didn't feel it, but there's still an aspect to me. I have to voice it to get it out, and then it's like, it's gone. So I'm not really that precious, as most of you know. So thank you for that reading. That was really awesome. I really liked it a lot, and yours, Libby, which is, I'm definitely going through this process of, dare I say it again, this transformation, this whole kind of upheaval of my beliefs. And again, and when I just think, okay, I understand that, another question arises within that, because then I go, oh, hang on a second, there's something that's not feeling quite congruent with now what I did know, which is all part of us moving forward. It's all part of us, growing, right? Which is okay. It's not like we get to a destination and that's it. But sadly, some people are in that. Some people are in that. That's it. They don't want to move. They don't want to grow. They don't want to see anything else. That's where they want to live and that's where they want to stay. And totally fine. Sometimes I wish I was in so much more denial than I am. My life might be a little bit easier, perhaps. Who knows? So I've got a couple of questions. Actually, funny enough, I wrote them down here. Do they have to be specifically about me, Leah, or are we open to anything?
Anything.
Let's
All
go
right.
for it.
I'm just going. This one's like way segue, right? I've watched quite a lot of footage, so I can go down a few little rabbit holes, and I really like to explore. I'm really open and aware, and sit on the fence, right? So, because part of my philosophy is, do I truly, truly know if anything's super, super real that's going on out in the big wide world? Hand on heart, I don't truly know. But what I do know is how I feel. So that's where I stay within my parameters. This is how I feel. And if I feel that, then that's how I go with it, right? That's how I make the distinction. So my question is the world flat? I want to know. Because
oh my God, Sarah. Okay.
I hope this, no, wait a second. While you're thinking, because I've seen things from pilots, right? When they're up there, they're like looking at the world.
I have seen the documentary, Sarah, and that's why it's like I was mind
right.
So let me just tune into it, okay? So what I'm getting is, do we actually, like, what's the difference? I'm not getting a clear answer. I'm just getting the answer of what will change for you. The only thing that will change is the mistrust that you have for those who lead us. But you already have that mistrust anyways. Will knowing any different create anything else for you?
Interesting question, and I really like that observation, because very true. What it would do for me would kind of make me go, it's right. It would give me, because I think there's so much out there at the moment that we're never quite sure. And that was what I was saying in the beginning, was coming back to how I feel. And again, and you're right, does it really actually matter? Really what I'm after is not whether the earth is flat or curvature, but are they telling me the truth? Who's telling me the truth? Who's giving me
some people lie blatantly to hide the truth. But we all lie because we all have got different perception of reality. So if something that is true for us is not the truth for somebody else. So this is a really interesting, discussion. And actually, like, my body is like, I'm actually feeling like something coming in my solar plexus, which I normally always just have it up here. I don't normally have stuff coming through down there. So I think this is something that is like, my body is really having like a really hard time dealing with these energies coming through.
Sorry, darling.
No, it's because my body doesn't want to be the one who says this is true and this is not true. That is not up for me. I'm not the person that is supposed to be saying these things. I'm this person that is supposed to be bringing through the messages of what does it mean to you? And I know that you're very aware of this. You said earlier, you don't need to know what the truth is. You just know what's real for you. And I think that is the only answer that I am able to give you as well. The answer that you already have.
I love that.
the answer that you believe, it won't change anything in your life. It will not change anything for you knowing, or like we all know how deep this corruption runs, and we know how much deceit is there, and how much it's a power play. It's a power play. What we need to do more is going away from that. And I don't actually like this word, but in this context, it's actually a lot of makes sense. The toxic masculinity, right? The power, control, all of that. We need to just step away from that, but not as in, making it look bad or trying to control it. What we need to do is bring in the beauty of the light and the beauty of, femininity, and the beauty of just being and holding space for other people to come into that space too. We're not here to, well, I'm definitely not here to be a person who's like in people's faces, shaking them to wake up. Like, that's not my job. My job is to speak the truth. And that's, you're not a person that is, you're the person who asks these questions and makes other people think.
Yes.
And wonder.
And like you were saying, yeah. And it's like you were saying, it's not even like, does it change my world? Not really. I might go, oh, well, it's flat. Okay. So what? Okay, it's flat. And yes, all those other things that we have seen could also be true. But I think you're right. It still leads you back, which is great that it's there, because it still leads you back to the question, well, does it change your world? And really, when you talk about the solar plexus, we're talking about empowerment, right? We're talking about those kind of things. So when you pick that up, it's about being empowered in knowing the truth about what it is for me and just trusting what that is. But like you say, watching those things just like blow your mind, and they're just so much fun to have. I don't lose sleep over it. I'm not one of those people that lose sleep over it. It's just such an interesting subject of how it is kind of presented in anything. And I think it's a really nice way to be, is to be curious and open and just go, you know what, whatever it is. And you might say, absolutely not, Sarah. It's not flat. It's completely round. And that's it. And I go, okay, well, I'm still not changed. Either way.
That's not anyone's job to tell you, though. It's your job to figure out what your reality is.
Well, it's definitely
there is no right or wrong. There is no right or wrong. Absolutely not. Like, I'm totally over this shit about, I mean, science obviously is the science of taking a hypothesis and then proving it right or wrong, right? So that there is that thing. But what we can see now is that on top of the science, there is all of this other science that isn't proved yet, around acupuncture or Ayurvedic medicine, Chinese medicine, all of those stuff, right? Energy healings. These have been tried and tested ways for millennia, right? They have been developed through trial and error over millennia. And now we come in and we was like, yeah, but there's no proof. We can't prove it. We don't know if there's these meridians because we can't prove it. And it's like, yeah, but that doesn't mean that it's wrong. That just doesn't mean that there is a way that you can understand it in your brain. So with in the last, I don't know, 500 years or whatever, we went away from trusting our hearts to believing in our brain. The mummies in Egypt, they were mummified without their brain, but with their heart, because the Egyptians believed that the heart was the center of how we think. And we have been now trained, though, to believe that it's our brain, because we have got the scientific evidence that shows that, that's where we keep memories. We've got the nervous endings there, all of that stuff. So that's the scientific way. But us as spiritual people, we know that our connection between the seen and the unseen is through our heart. So that is our spiritual brain. It is our intuition brain. It's just a different type of brain. So what I'm saying is, science or no science, think with your heart, trust in your heart, and just do whatever makes you feel good. Who gives a shit?
That's right. Exactly right. I don't disagree with that at all. And I think only right and wrong can only be, it's an ever-changing philosophy. It's ever-changing. It's like science is ever-changing. One minute they say it doesn't exist, the next thing they do say, oh, actually, it does exist. We found that out. So
prove it.
Ever-changing, ever-changing.
So, Sarah, I asked this question in the vault with Jonah this morning.
Yeah.
So,
did you?
Yes. So, in the next episode that is coming out, check it out and see that. So, you and I are very close, so we share a lot of our information, and I know exactly where Sarah is coming from. And it was really fun to explore these other possibilities. And what I love is it expanded our awareness to see like anything is possible. And on some realm, for some people, the earth is flat. They see and experience the flat lines and dimensions. For them, that is real. What came out through Jonah, obviously I can't, articulate the way it was, but the crux of it was universal laws need the sphere, like for energy movement and connection, it has to be a sphere and that globe, movement of energy.
It's like a torus field. It's like a torus field. Yeah, that's
exactly
the vision that comes into my mind. It's a torus field,
exactly.
Which is where torus fields are for energy and beacons, right?
Yes. So then, in terms of why is there this theory of, why does that even exist, that some people think it might be flat? And I used to say to you, like really up until recently, like I see truth in everything. I see that there can be truth for somebody, that can be true. And what I've realized now is instead of all of it having some truth, it's actually that there is distortion in everything.
Yes.
Everything we are experiencing has a distortion based on us, based on our programming, based on all of it. Our soul comes in with a particular distortion based on all of the imprints that affects our experiences, that affects our conversations, that it affects how we view absolutely everything. So I've kind of flipped that a little bit of, I see truth in everything, to actually everything is distorted. If I'm channeling some information for you, I'm channeling it through my filters. So I can only give you my experience and my information and what I'm seeing based on my programming and my filters, and I can share that with you, and you will hear it through your own filters. So all of that is distortion.
Yeah.
So what I love is that, yes, these theories exist because I feel they help us expand our awareness of, maybe not everything I'm seeing is 100% real. Maybe this is possible. When I believe that something else might be possible, what's possible beyond that? And what's possible beyond that? So it helps with our expansion in awareness.
So it's like the truth is always expanding. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. I do have one quick question, Lee. It was totally segue, right? So I have this real sense of, it's almost like an itchiness of moving again, right? And I'm not going to tell you where I'm thinking. Not that I'm trying to test you. I itchiness of moving, and I am a little bit. I'm a little bit in it, out of it. It doesn't. Where I'm thinking about moving still doesn't feel like my, kind of like a final destination. But I feel that's a little bit of who I am anyway. I feel like a bit of a gypsy. I still feel like I have this kind of, I like to feel free and not, that's it, I'm living here and that's it. That's not who I am. So I guess my question is, it's starting to keep percolating. And normally when things percolate like that, they're pretty strong for me. So I just thought if you had any insights on that or any guidance to help me around that, to, just perhaps listen a little bit clearer to a couple of things that maybe, because I'm kind of questioning it, but I'm just worried whether it's a little bit me getting the gypsy in me that needs to be on the road, or, am I really following the nudges? That would be great.
Well, you are home everywhere, Sarah, first of all. It doesn't matter where you live, your home is everywhere. But when you were saying that, what I saw was red dirt. And I know that you're in at the water now, and I was like, water, and it was like, no, it's red dirt. So I know that in Australia there is a lot of active crystals that can help us connect more with, connecting to certain frequencies. And I think that wherever you're going, you will be doing it very intentionally. You will be visiting those places many times before you make a decision, and you will sit there and you will meditate and you will see, because there's the crystals everywhere, Mother Gaia is everywhere, there's these energies everywhere. But I think the next place where you're going to move is going to be solely for the reason for you to connect to the higher realms at all times and being able to receive messages. I think that you will not be it will not be for you to connect to people as such. I think it will be for you to connect with the higher realm.
Can you give me any more information on that? And the reason why I'm asking why you grew over that is because, I love doing some group work, which I haven't done for a little while, just due to the way the planet is. I'm not keen on doing it on social media. That's one of my things. I have done it, but it's not. I prefer live. I prefer people, to be. So I've always had this vision about creating a community of people. So I just want to, with that saying that, is that something you feel is a way of me expressing my connection with other realms? Is that going to be something that because I feel like I'm being guided to do that on land? Yeah, does that make sense?
Are you asking if you're going to move there and you're also going to have your community there?
Yeah, well, I guess I'm asking for more information on what you're saying when you say it's not really with people. My connection is going to be more.
No, it will be with people. It will definitely be with people. But it's like this this energy that is going in and then out. So it's going to be this energy that is going to help you.
Okay.
Can you feel your heart right now, Sarah? Can you feel what I'm thinking? Because for me, it's really hard to express this. It's like you're really going to just channel, but it's not like you're channeling for other people. You're channeling with other people. You're co-creating this energy. For you to be grounded and to be stable, you will need to have this space where you're really connected to the earth and to the stars. And that will be possible through these crystals that will be in the earth. So you will be like super anchored, and through that you will be able to bring out, I see this energy just like going out of you, and you're just like this ball of energy, but you're like so connected to it's like your physical body is not the reality anymore. It is going to be your vibration, which is going to be the reality. Like, I just see you just walking along, and I have this conversation a lot lately because I'm feeling like this too, not having conversations through talking anymore, but having these conversations through frequency. So you will literally, like, even if you have these people come, they will be drawn to you at this place because they can feel you activating this energy at that point, and they will be drawn to you for no reason. And even if you're just having like silent days where you don't talk, you will be communicating with each other through this frequency, and you will be bringing in this beautiful energy for these people, and they will understand more what frequency means. We say this word frequency, but I know that you can feel what it actually is. Frequency, it's not just like this wave that goes around, and bounces off here and bounces off there. It's more than that. It's like expression. It is energy. It's love. It's all of the things that you are. So it's
I really appreciate that, because I feel like it's given me the feeling. It's given me a feeling of quite humbleness that you see me, because sometimes I live in this world where I can really see other people, and I really see them at a depth that I cannot communicate verbally in English language or any language, because it's beyond that. So I really do appreciate that insight, because that's how I feel sometimes, which makes me feel different, which makes me feel I cannot go out there in the world sometimes and be fully seen, because I can see so much. And I don't mean like in entities or anything like that. It's not even really seen with my eyes. I feel the vibration. I feel it. I feel it so deeply sometimes that it freaks me out, that it's and that's why sometimes I have to retreat. I have to take myself away sometimes, because it's just too much. It's not too much for me to be in it, but it's too much for me to comprehend. Sometimes it's so good, because I do see myself building like community, a place where people come to, and I don't feel stuck in that place. Like I don't feel, oh my gosh, that's it, because that whenever I move, like I'm here by the water and I love it. It's really amazing. It's a definitely sea change, and I'm very welcomed. But this is I'm not here for long, and I know that. So that's why I was asking the question. So I wasn't envisioning red dirt, but I love red dirt. You know, that I can feel the vibration of that deeply. So thank you. It brings me some joy, and in knowing that my internal vision of what I see myself doing is which I know, because I feel it, is where I'm supposed to be.
I know that you're very intuitive, so I know that you will find the place, and I know that you will not just go because you've got itchy feet. I think this next place will definitely be a place where you will be like, I can stay here for a while.
Cool.
And it's like, I really think that you will be able, like, it's just going to be this resonance between you and the land, and it's like you reflecting the land and the land reflecting you, and it's going to be more than you living on this land. It's like you being a part of the land and part of it's hard to explain, but I know that you feel it.
Yeah,
right?
I really do. Any chance of knowing where in the country perhaps that might be? A little nudge.
It just came up Western Australia, but like I don't know.
Ooh.
Wow. Amazing.
I'm coming. I love WA.
Well,
I've never been, so that would be really super exciting.
I think you connecting with looking at the lines. There's telling me look at the lines.
Yeah.
Maybe use a pendulum to figure it out. Like I don't know. I'm getting these weird, not weird messages, but it's like it's something to do with the line. I know that there is one of the lines goes straight through Uluru, so it's somewhere along that line. But you know, I don't know. I think you'll really have to be really intuitive about it.
I think I'll know.
I think you'll just know. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll know. It's almost like I'll hear a noise. Like, I know that sounds really weird and probably out there, but I'll just know. I'll just hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Without physically hearing it. Thank you so much. That's
amazing.
So cool.
Thanks for jumping on with us. Yeah.
Me, and I'll hop off in case there's anybody else. I mean, I don't want to take up all the showtime.
We've got some other questions, so we'll move on to Heidi. But thanks for being brave enough to jump on, even though you,
I
love it.
I'm showered, so that's cool.
I love it.
Thanks, Leah.
Right.
Thanks for being.
Thanks, Sarah.
Bye.
Bye.
Amazing. Okay, so we have an amazing question from Heidi. Let me see if I can put it on the screen here.
No. Oh, yeah. Stopping in here tonight feels like I'm coming home. Oh, Heidi.
Love it.
Oh.
Can you give me a message around finding a lover? I had an old connection that was so strong. He's moved on and we don't talk anymore, but he's been in my dreams again this week. And it has me wondering what's ahead for me with finding an extraordinary lover and partner.
All right. So first of all, Heidi, I'm feeling a bit triggered because there was also this old connection that was very strong. and we don't talk anymore. And I'm like very disappointed, but whatever. So let me just
We just need to separate that for a minute.
yeah, and feel into your energy. So I see just this amazing ball of light coming out of your heart, and I know that you have been doing so much heart opening at the moment. It's like angel wings coming out of your heart, and they're like all around you. It's. I mean, it looks a bit, the way I'm saying it, it's a bit weird, but it's like this protective layer around your heart, but it's not like it's this protection that is keeping things in or out, because hearts or love frequency is supposed to flow. So it's not like it's a cage where you're just like caging yourself off. It seems like you're very open for it, and being able to receive it unconditionally is the first step for finding a partner, being open to that. Is there maybe a way, because I know that you've really opened your heart, but it kind of feels like still like you're scared. Is there like a belief around that you have been left, or you've been disappointed, or men have kind of left your life without, they've just like abandoned you basically? And is it easier for you just to be like, well, fine then, I don't deserve love, or love just doesn't happen for me. I'd rather just deal with the disappointment than moving on with a new love. Yes, you're scared. Yes. So that's what I'm seeing. You've got this belief around it that you're like, you will leave me anyways, so why would I? It's easier for me to just be disappointed again than to actually let in love 100%. So that's the belief that you need to shift. And I'm having a little inner dialogue right now around how can we help Heidi. Libby, do you know timeline shift? Maybe do you know what we can do? I mean, I feel like I can definitely support you, but I don't feel like I can run this at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe I'll share my message and we can see how Heidi feels and whether we even have time for a timeline shift, but we can always do it separately and privately, but the cards don't lie, right? So I'll just share, Heidi, angels say there's a new partner. Cannot make this shit up. So there is absolutely, a chance meeting, something. It's in your field. 100%. Your next partner and experience is in your field, like 100%. Now, the next card that came up, and I feel it's actually linked to some of the fear. And this is the divine masculine, the power of the divine masculine. And I feel like you diving into a little bit of understanding of divine feminine, the polarity that we need in the relationships for them really to thrive, and you 100% owning and honoring your divine feminine, and you holding that vibration in that space allows him to come in his divine masculine, and this beautiful polarity happens where that is harmony, right? I think in the past there has been a bit of potentially like an abuse, or abuse in the broad sense of the word, of the power of the divine masculine, and that has shaken your core just a little bit. I can see that there's a little bit of a shattering of that, and you've lost faith in it, you've lost trust in it, and that's the root of the fear. So somebody like, I'll share a link with you. Her last name is Robbins, and Alison Robbins, I think it is. And she teaches a lot. She has books on Audible and so much information around the divine masculine and feminine. It really helped me understand why I was so out of polarity in my own relationship. and how, so then I started to try and lean in way more into my feminine, and it just, because the polarity wasn't there on the other side, the harmony just couldn't be reached, and it was time for that to dissolve and move on. So yeah, you feel that really deeply, and I understand, like, really staying in your feminine, and you've had such a period of independence, and it doesn't mean that it is giving up any part of us, but it's when when you have that partner who is in their masculine, you don't need to be there. There's so much space for you to stay in your feminine, that that polarity remains. He's absolutely adoring you because they adore the feminine, and there's so much space for him to be in the masculine. And yeah, there's has been this disharmony collectively with women. You know, we've been taught to be in our masculine. We've been taught to, especially in the entrepreneurial space, our independence. We don't need a man, you know, but if we are stepping in and coming into partnership in our masculine, then there's no space for him to be in his masculine. Yes, it really is.
I think everybody who's on this call needs to hear this, and I love it. Thanks, Libby. Sorry for interrupting.
100%. So I do feel that, yes, this has come up to say, hey, he's in your field. He's going to be in his masculine. Are you ready for it? Is there, like, do some preparation, prepare your body, prepare what it imagine what it feels like. I'm full body tingles, because how does it feel for you to 100% embody your divine feminine and allow him to see you in your divine feminine? How does that feel? Because that's true bliss. That's when there is so much alignment, harmony, and polarity between the two of you that it's absolute magic. Then there was a third card that fell out for you, and it's the soul child. And I just see this as our root core magic, like unfiltered, unprogrammed self, that this is full body shivers. I know, right? It's bloody amazing. So just honoring your soul, honoring it's always speaking to you. It's always, you're going to walk into a room and you will know that is him. That is him. And
hey,
yeah.
Sorry. I just had a great idea. Heidi said, can we do a timeline shift around us? How about next week, Heidi, you come on with us live. We look at your numerology, we look at your moon energy, we look at all of that stuff. We can do a little Q session of calling in that for each one of us, a moon card, and then Libby, you can run a timeline shift on it for all of us.
Absolutely. Yep. I would love that. Yes. Maybe, let's do it.
Let's chat after to see when we can do it. But I think that, I don't know, I'm just like, yes, let's just
let's do it now. Oh, amazing.
Oh man, I think we need to have more of that conversation around feminine and masculine, because I feel like, yes, it is kind of a disease nowadays that women have to be so much more in their masculine, because males don't know what masculinity actually is. They do, but it's a little bit distorted, right?
Yes. And I don't think it's that we have to be, but it's that we've defaulted into our masculine, and our men have defaulted into their feminine. So you know, when we're not honoring our own true core, and it's not a gender we understand that's not a gender thing. Majority of women are meant to embody their divine feminine. Majority of men are meant to embody their divine masculine. That's their authentic core. And when we are in alignment with that authentic core, that's when the magic absolutely happens. And that's what I'm calling in. That's for sure.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too, for sure.
Yeah. Oh. Amazing. Amazing. Great questions.
Yeah. This was amazing. Amazing. I don't know what else to say. Amazing.
So good. Well, let's continue that line of, I think there are many of us who, especially now in this beautiful one energy month, and we're in the harmony of the 6 energy year as well. So much is shifting. We've just had that the new moon in Scorpio, wasn't it? Which was like, the personal transformation. Just by chance, that was the date that I had booked the whole color styling,
it was
body.
the first of the month of
First.
the months of 1 month.
Yeah. So you can't make this stuff up. When you just follow those nudges, then it's brilliant. But let's dive in. I think we can all benefit so much from this.
All right. Well, we'll let you guys know when it is. But yeah, I feel like this is, I don't know, feels right. Let's do it. Intuition, right? Trust it.
Yeah.
Go with it.
Circling back to how we started the conversation, and this is exactly what we do. It feels this is where our energy is flowing. So let's do it. Thank you, beautiful souls, for this opening. So much is ready to move right now with old relationship patterns. 100%. And don't forget, there is a lot that we do hold within our body. We have our own sexual channels through our body that the energy who we've connected with in the past does stay. So set some intentions around clearing those old energies out of our channels, just so that you're open. The law of vacuum, we need to clear to welcome in the new. So even if you're not specifically aware of how to do that, technically, just set the intentions that you wish to clear your channels, and with the intention of calling in the new of what's exactly perfect for you. And we'll jump in and do some work on it next week.
Yeah, your guides are always listening. Your guides know exactly what you need. If you just ask them to help, they will be there to help you. If you just have to do it, every day for the next week,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Beautiful. Amazing. All right. We'll leave it there. Great questions. Thanks, everybody who has tuned in. Thanks, Sarah, for joining us. I just love having these conversations. So we will schedule another session and we'll follow up on this. So it'll probably still be the Thursday morning for us, Wednesday evening for the US, Leah.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I just totally tuned out. Yes, we're changing the time to 10 o'clock our time.
10 o'clock Sydney time. Yeah.
Sydney time, yes.
On a Thursday.
On a Thursday, yes. I'll change everything up, let you guys know. It'll be on the web. I don't know, I'm just
she's gone. Oh, I love it. Yeah, you'll know. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, from our heart to yours, have an amazing day. Enjoy your week. Stay in tune. Listen to those whispers. And we can dive even deeper next week.
I'm excited.
Amazing. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.